This is Keith Boggs of Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the debrief for 420 Twin Oaks Drive. I've got about 80 pictures here. The first picture you see is a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's really just for the title page of the report. First thing I did is I go up on the roof. I went up the back way here, and these are what I call starter shingles, and they're installed improperly. So they should be. I should not be able to lift them with my fingers. They should be stuck together. Okay, there should be. You should see adhesive here.
Only those two, or
no? I'll show you. There's more. Yeah, there's more. And there's probably even more. I do random sampling. You know, so that if it's 1 or 2 or 3 areas, it's probably everywhere.
Okay.
Generally, that's what we find. So there's two types of shingles they can install on these 3 tabs. They can buy the shingle with adhesive on the top and the bottom. If they don't have that, then what they have to do is they have to take the bottom shingle, they cut it in half, and they flip it over like this, and then that puts adhesive on the top side of the shingle. Then when they put the shingles together, they stick.
Okay.
So they installed these wrong. So the adhesive, some of them are correct. There were a few that were correct, but there's I guess several locations where they're installed improperly. So if I can lift it with my fingers, at some point the wind can blow them up and eventually blow them away. These 3-tab shingles here, they're only rated, if they're installed perfectly, they're only rated to about 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Okay.
So not very fast. You know, a lot of roofs are rated up to 100, 120, 130. So that's if it's installed perfectly. If it's not, then even 60-mile-an-hour winds is gonna, less than that's gonna blow the shingles. So there's a bunch of shingles here, a bunch of starter shingles that are installed improperly, and I've got multiple locations, and I'll show you where they're at. I got some pictures showing you where they're at. This, when I got up on the roof, this looks like a little bit of hail damage.
Okay.
Same thing here, a little bit of hail damage right through here.
Okay. So they're going to replace it?
They should, yeah. This could be hail damage, also could be foot traffic damage.
Okay.
We'll call it hail damage, and then this is hail damage right down here.
Okay.
Right down there. Yeah, so once you can see this black stuff here, that means the granules are gone. There's no these this one looks perfect, for example. So that's going to be very resistant to the sun, ultraviolet deterioration. But once those granules are gone and you start seeing this black, well, now that will start heating up and it will cause those granules to pop off, and then it get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
And so over time it'll make the shingles age much faster. Here you can really see a bunch of all across this whole. This is right almost. I think it's right above us.
Okay.
This is also right above us at the 2nd floor, and the felt paper is installed improperly. So there's black paper right here. You see this area where this is called flashing. On this side, it's called rake edge flashing.
Okay.
And we shouldn't be able to see that. It should be covered up with the black felt paper. So that's installed improperly. And that's multiple locations there. Okay, so this is right here. This is where I found some of that stuff.
Okay.
And then over here, and then up here.
Okay.
This is actually right over here.
Yeah.
Same thing, improperly installed starter shingles.
It got damaged, or it was not properly installed?
Was not installed properly. Yeah.
Okay.
Installed improperly. If it was proper, and let's say it wasn't sticking because it was installed in the cold weather, you would still see the adhesive black. You see a black strip across there. So that's it's not present. And these are on this side of the roof over here, both sides over there, and then so here, other side of there, here, and here. Those are the locations, and it's likely wrong other places.
Okay.
It goes to workmanship. If you're taught something correctly, you tend to repeat it correctly. If you're taught something wrong, you tend to repeat it wrong. Yeah. This is a big gap in the veneer over here. By these little fixed windows here, I'll show you where. It's big enough to stick my finger in there. Right there.
Okay.
Right.
That window. So they need to fill that with some mortar. There is a vapor barrier behind there, but if they don't install that vapor barrier properly, you can get rain in there, and eventually you can get rot into the house. I've seen it in brand new houses before. So they need to fill that because we don't know if they did the vapor barrier properly. This is a vent over on this side here, and it's missing fasteners.
Oh, okay.
So they caulked in place, but the problem is that caulk is going to eventually crack, and then that vent's going to fall off. So they need to put fasteners on there.
Vent.
Vent hood.
Where is this? This one.
This is right over here. This is for the actually for the cooktop.
Okay. It will fall down otherwise.
Eventually it will fall. Eventually it will fall off. Yep. Yep. And then you'll have a big hole in there.
Yeah, kids will be going. They will be going from there, here and there.
Yeah.
On that side.
Yep. Yep. This is at your front door. This is just, they did kind of a bad job with this fascia board here, and they just kind of try to fill it in with mortar. This should be abutted.
Yeah.
Not filled in with something.
Oh.
That's right up here. See how it doesn't even look right. So they need to really fix this piece of wood up here, so it's in place. But it's a covered area, but just cosmetically that doesn't.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk up, to me it stood right out, popped right out. You know. So this is in the garage. One thing I noticed, they did not install a pressure reducing valve.
This is, I think it's related to the water softener.
Yeah, that's it.
They didn't install this. I installed it from external water softener company.
This looks like your shutoff in the garage.
In the garage.
Yeah, that's also your shutoff.
Oh, okay, that's also a shutoff.
Yeah, all shutoff. And what I don't see here is what's called a pressure reducing valve, PVR valve.
Okay.
It's not present here. So some cities, it's been code in Frisco for a long time, but I'm not sure if it's code in Little Elm, so we're gonna have to put it in the report and see what they say.
Okay.
This is just a look at the panel box. This is just like a baseline look. When I first got here, I wanted to see kind of what was going on with the panel box, and this is normal. This looks fine. I got some more. I got another picture or two of the panel box, and it looks fine. I did find the one electrical thing up here. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is just a test of the garage door opener, so I'm going to play it so we have it for the recording. Volume off. It's a pressure reverse test, so I put something in front of the door, make sure when it hits it, it reverses. And then you'll see the door go down again, and I put my foot in front of it to make sure the electronic eyes work. And so those are two tests that we do in the garage. And then I'm looking at the garage the whole time for issues, and it looks fine. And so both those tests worked. This is the water pressure to the house. It was at 70. The range is 40 to 80, so 70 is good.
Okay.
This is your condenser. Some of these pictures in here are just for me. You're going to see the manufacturer's label here in a second. I take a picture of it, so when I look at the panel box, I can look at my camera and see what the breaker is to make sure it's the correct breaker, and it was fine. That won't be in the report. It'll be in this video, but not in the report. And this is just a little short video of the condenser. It was running. It sounded fine. We're going to go ahead and play it again so we have it for the recording. It should sound like this, so if you down the road you think it doesn't sound right, you can pull out this video and listen and go, yeah, it sounds good or it doesn't. You can hear things with these condensers before a problem happens. The fan's not operating right, you can kind of hear it, especially if you heard it enough times. This is your water heater. Water heater was fine. That's just manufacturer label. That's for me. This is one return register here. It's not blowing properly. It should be blowing around 60 to 58, 60 degrees. And it's blowing at almost 72 degrees. So that doesn't have good flow there. So that's something you may not notice that, but it's blowing about, about 13 degrees, 11, 12, 13 degrees, yeah. So you may notice that at some point. That's where it's at. It's up here in the hallway. This one right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. This is the cooktop. She mentioned this one was not working before, and then this one did not work today at all. Okay. I cleaned it and I tried a couple things that sometimes can fix it, but it's not. So they need to evaluate the whole cooktop and find out why these two are not working. This is the crack up here, which you know about. That's just cosmetic. They do need a repair because it's pretty obvious. It stands out pretty much right away. That's just where it's located right there. These lights are burnt out.
Yeah, those lights.
They should not burn out in a year or 10 months. That's pretty quick. So, and they're hard to get to. So we'll put in the report to have the builder replace those light bulbs. This is in your master shower. You probably noticed the separation of the tile there. Have you noticed that? And we need that needs to be sealed up. Right now you're getting water underneath here, which can cause these tiles to come loose and also can cause mold. to propagate organic growths to propagate under there. So they need to seal that up real good. A couple other bath things too. And that's just basically right along there, that one side. This is in the master closet. I did scan the areas with the moisture stains. The only place that still looks wet is in there, in that master. But the wood is soft in there, and it's also soft here, and you can push on it. So that means the gypsum board is damaged underneath there. It should be nice and firm. It shouldn't. If you push on any of these, they're nice and firm. So they need to remove those baseboards there, fix the drywall, and then replace the baseboards. And of course, they should replace that in the closet too. Okay. And I'll have with the sink. It's supposed to have a 1-inch gap, so no water should be pouring onto that. So that's a code thing. They may say you didn't turn off right, but they didn't install it right. Yeah. They should have been over far enough into the sink that it's dripping at least an inch. Yeah. Like I showed you with that one right there. That one you installed that one. Yeah. I turned it down real low. It still was falling within the sink. So that wasn't your fault. Maybe you didn't turn it off, but it wasn't your fault that it was installed wrong. So that was installed improperly. So they should repair this. This is spongy, and I got a thermal picture here later on. He saw it. I got a picture of it. It's still looking spongy and wet. So I'm going to call it organic growth and make it a health issue, possible health concerns. Plus damage. The sink itself is damaged in here. That's damaged too. And this whole thing's coming loose from the wall. I've stuck my knife in, you can actually jiggle the whole cabinet. So it's not secured or the water affected it. And that's just right over here. This is a sink. I think this is a powder bathroom.
The same bathroom.
Same bathroom. Okay, yeah, right there. Yeah. You do have some cracking here. Between there and then a very obvious crack right there. So here and here, one of them's very obvious. One's very obvious. This is another look at the panel box, and it still looks fine to me. This is in one of your bathrooms, I believe. And so they need this upstairs. They need a caulk up in there. You've got several window stools up there that are moisture stained. So you've got some kind of, they need to do a better job of caulking around these exterior of these windows up top. These are vinyl windows, so they don't sweat. Like aluminum windows will sweat. You can get this from the window sweating, condensating. But the vinyl windows don't do that. So you're getting water, and there's a moisture stain right there. Yeah, I see that. So where is that location? That is right here, upstairs. Your office.
Oh, okay.
Yep, yep. And the other bedroom has the same thing. Okay. This is another area of moisture stained. So that's showing that you're getting some water from the outside into the house.
Oh, yeah. What is the fix for that?
They just need to do a better job of caulking around that window on the outside. Okay. That water's getting in there somehow.
And what about the one which is already molded, right? It says they replace it or
which one?
The one. So this is all already molded, right? That moisture.
Well, this looks just like moisture damage because it's not soft. Not spongy like that. It's just started to swell up a little bit.
Okay,
so,
will they?
Well, they're gonna have to pull. They're gonna have to pull the whole thing off to put a new one on there, so they can look in there then.
Okay.
Yeah. This is your air handler upstairs, and you're gonna see some numbers here in a minute. Filter's very, very dirty.
Oh, I need to replace it.
Yeah, it's very dirty. You want to do that because if you have a problem with the air conditioning and they come out here and they see that filter's dirty. They're gonna void your warranty.
Oh, okay.
You don't want them to.
Replace it.
And if you if you get a home warranty one day, always make sure these are. And if they ever ask you how long it's been, I just replaced that. Okay. They don't care how dirty it is. Don't ever admit that you left it in there for a year or 6 months. Oh, I don't know why it's so dirty. I just replaced that last month or 2 months ago. Because they'll void your warranty.
So we need to replace for every 2 months.
Every 3.
Well, that one, each filter is different. They have some of these are good for a whole year, some are for 6 months, some are for 3 months. I'd replace them every 3 months just because it's easy. You got to walk in. It's not hard to get up there. Just every 3, maybe 4 months. This is a temperature differential, so this is how well the air conditioning is cooling. Now with the dirty filter, that can make that differential go up higher than normal, and so it may appear like right now we got a 64. and an 81, which is 15 degrees. So that's the very bottom end of the range. The range is 15 to 20 degrees. That's at the very bottom, but it's probably not at 15 because the filter's dirty. So that's raised it up. So it's probably actually 13 degrees. So it's not cooling properly. But it looks like it's cooling properly because the filter was dirty. So I'm still going to put it in the report because it's a brand new unit. It's not that hot out right now. It should be cooling the range is 15 to 20 with a brand new unit. A year old, it should be 18, 19, 20, the high end of the range, not the low end of the range. So I'm still putting in the report. The drain pan is missing a float switch to protect your house from moisture. That's something the builder may not do. It depends if the city requires it. This is missing insulation. Right up here. Right there. There's a big piece of insulation missing. That's not too big, but that's a bat. They're completely missed it. This is right above us here.
Yeah, it's heating up.
That's heating up. Yeah, that's heat you're seeing from the thermal camera seeing heat. So something, maybe the wires kinked over, something's heating up because it would would be all the same color like this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that if it was fine. If it was a light bulb, that's one thing, but not a flange at the ceiling. So that they need to investigate that. This is in the bathroom here. This is active moisture. Thermal camera saying active moisture. I'm going to put in the report. It looks like organic growths. I can't say mold because I'm not licensed for that, but I'm going to say it's actively wet and it appears like there's organic growths. So we're gonna and I'm going to say which could cause health problems. And I'll type something up. It'll be longer than that. Just kind of.
You can also attach that video as sent.
Yeah, in the video. Yep. That's just another picture of the same thing. That's for the door open, I think. Yeah, that's what why didn't I flip that around? So this cabinet is moisture damaged, and then it looks like it's wet there also still. So wood can wick moisture like a candle wick.
Yeah.
If it comes in contact with it, just sucks the moisture up into it, the wood. So you're probably getting some wicking of the moisture. This is a sprinkler system. This is zone 4. Did not work.
4.
No good. Did not work. This is the oven. Oven worked fine. Set to 350. Heated to right around 350. The range is 325 to 375. So within the range. That's it.
Okay.
So roof, air conditioning, and the leak. Probably the 3 big things.
Yeah.
Insulation.
So it's insulation machine is missing.
What do you mean exactly by insulation here?
It's missing. Oh, let me see if I can find that picture. Why is it not showing these pictures to me? Come on, why is it not showing these pictures?
Maybe it's from the last 5th or 6th.
It's a one. Yeah, it was farther on. I think it's here in a minute. Right there.
Yeah.
See, this should be all the same color.
Oh. Okay.
That's a piece. That's right, and it's right up.
Oh, what exactly you mean by
Here.
insulation? Like what?
The bat insulation. It's bat insulation, not the blown. You seen the blown in the attic? It's not that. It's a piece of insulation. It's called
Okay,
bat.
insulation inside that.
Inside
right?
the wall void.
Inside
It's a
the
wall void. It's a
yeah,
wall
exactly.
void that's missing insulation.
Okay.
Yep. And it's.
How are they going to fix it?
They're going to have to cut out.
cut out and put it?
You're going to have to cut it out. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's not a big deal.
That's not hard. And they'll.
The only reason it's a big.
paint it,
So
right?
the only reason it's a big deal is you got to get. It'll take more than one guy. One guy will have to cut it, then they'll bring an insulation guy. He'll put the insulation guy, and then another guy will put the piece back in place, and then they'll bring a painter out.
Yeah.
They'll bring 2 and 3 guys out to do that. But it's a fairly good sized piece. I mean, it's not like a little teeny small piece. You know, it's it's probably that big of a piece. 2 by 2, 3 by 3, something like that. But that's it. Let me pause this or end this. Yeah, it's still recording. I'm trying to figure out why it won't show me the.
I see it there.
It should say done. There should be a little spot here I can click done. Okay, let's try stopping it.